Welcome to Youth Sports Mastery on the Daily Parks and Rec Show, hosted by Aaron Locks and sponsored by National Academy of Athletics. Join us live every Thursday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as Aaron sits down with coaches, recreation professionals, and industry leaders to discuss youth sports, athlete development, coaching excellence, and the positive impact sports have on young people and communities. Tune in for expert insights, inspiring stories, and practical strategies to help young athletes succeed. In this episode, former NFL player Michael Stone joins Aaron Locks to share valuable lessons on youth sports, building confidence, and helping young athletes develop a lifelong love for the game.
Welcome, everybody, to this week's Youth Sports Mastery Show on the Daily Parks and Rec Show. I'm fired up once again to have Michael Stone. I'm so excited you're going to be here, Mike.
Glad to be here.
All the way from Atlanta, Georgia, the ATL, man. This is going to be great. We got to take care of some what do they call it, doing some laundry or housekeeping before we get started. First of all, let's just say this. I am so excited and lucky and blessed to be a part of the Daily Parks and Rec Show, to Craig and the entire team for the work they've done. 400 episodes, Mike. 400 episodes, man. And it's happened quick. So there's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes to make these things go. And it's awesome. I mean, this has been an incredible ride. Before we dig in and go a full introduction, Mike, I want to go ahead and I want to give a little bit of information and shout out to some folks. One, today's show sponsor is Outdoor Link. I would like to give a special shout out to Outdoor Link. By the way, those that are investing in helping this go, because that's what makes this thing happen behind the scenes, making everything go. Amazing job. Outdoor Link has been one of the earliest sponsors supporting the Daily Parks and Rec Show since the beginning. If you want to be able to turn your entire city on and off with a swipe of a finger on an app, imagine that. That's what Outdoor Link does. Outdoor Link builds smart cities, connecting your parks, lights, splash pads, fountains, bathroom, door locks, or anything powered by electricity into a simple app on your phone. I mean, that's pretty cool to have that. So that's the first one. We're going to have the spot coming up. The other thing I want to say is that if you're a vendor that serves Parks and Rec, if you're looking to connect with that community and service up, and man, the team from DPRS, and I'm so a part of this, is really great, is that if you're a vendor and you're looking to get that connection with them and connect, this media company, DPRS, is dedicated to telling stories of Parks and Recreation while elevating your brand. So let's have a chat about that. What you can do is you can message Craig LeBlanc or send me a message. I'll give him the message. You can find him on LinkedIn, CRAIG, last name LeBlanc, LEBLANC. All right, let's do this. Let's take care of the spots, run those. When we come back, Michael will get the full dive in. Run it, Jovi. Thank you. See you guys in a minute.
It didn't start with a studio or a big budget or a perfect plan. It started with belief. Belief that stories matter. Belief that voices deserve to be heard. Belief that community is powerful. What began as a single conversation has grown into something far bigger than us. Today we pause, we reflect, and we say thank you. To our guests, thank you for showing up, for being honest, for trusting us with your stories and letting the world hear them. To our partners and sponsors, thank you for standing with us when the vision was still taking shape. Your belief gave this network its foundation. And to our audience, the ones who listened, who watched, who shared, who believed. You didn't just support DPRS Media Network, you built it. This past year changed everything. We grew our shows, we raised our standards, we reached new communities, and we told stories that needed to be told. From parks and recreation to sports, youth, technology, and culture, we learned something important. Growth isn't about numbers, it's about impact. As we grow, our mission becomes clear. Our mission is to create media that matters, media that educates, media that inspires, media that connects people through honest, human storytelling. To spotlight the people, the programs, and the ideas shaping parks, recreation, sports, and the future of our shared spaces. And our vision is bold. We envision a media network that doesn't just document the world, but helps shape it, where local voices spark global change, where communities see themselves reflected, and where media is a force for good. The future ahead is bigger than any single episode. More voices, more stories, more collaboration, live events, original films, deeper conversations, and a growing community united by purpose. From episode 1 to episode 400, thank you for believing when it was hard. Thank you for staying when it was uncertain. And thank you for walking this journey with us. This is DPRS Media Network, built by community, driven by purpose, powered by stories. And we're just getting started.
In today's parks and recreation industry, communication, safety, and efficiency go hand in hand. That's where Outdoor Link comes in, delivering smart technology that empowers city departments and community planners to do more, smarter. Outdoor Link's platform connects and automates everything that keeps your parks running smoothly, from lighting and locks to signage, water features, Wi-Fi, and digital advertising. Control and schedule park lights for safety and energy savings. Remotely manage facility access. Update digital displays in real time. Coordinate fountains and splash pads. Provide public connectivity. And even run community or sponsorship campaigns on digital screens. All from one simple, unified platform, giving you real-time control, data, and cost efficiency. For parks and recreation agencies, that means safer spaces, smarter resource use, faster responses, and stronger community engagement. And behind every great park story is great infrastructure. That's why Outdoor Link proudly supports DPRS Media Company, helping the daily Parks and Rec show amplify the voices of professionals shaping our communities every day. Outdoor Link, smart, connected solutions for parks, recreation, and beyond.
Are you a vendor, brand, or service provider ready to connect with the heartbeat of local communities? At DPRS Media Co., we tell the stories shaping parks and recreation across America. Through podcasts, live streams, videos, and newsletters, we reach frontline leaders, city directors, and decision makers every single week. From youth sports and facilities to programming and policy, our audience is your audience. Sponsoring or partnering with DPRS Media Co. puts your brand in front of the professionals who build, budget, and buy for their communities. Launching a new product? Growing your presence in public spaces? Targeting cities, counties, or departments? DPRS is your trusted media partner. Whether you're in software, turf, aquatics, robotics, smart cities, or special events, partnering with DPRS puts your brand in the story. With commercials, interviews, social campaigns, newsletters, and live shows, we're your media team. Partner with us and grow your impact in the $200 billion parks and rec industry. DPRS Media Co. Stories that move parks and rec forward. Your audience is here. Let's meet them.
All right, we're back. Welcome back. Sorry about that, Mike. Takes a while to get there, but all right. Hey, Mike, just so people can understand why I'm so fired up to have you on the show today, would you do me a favor and just kind of give a little introduction about young Michael Stone, young Mikey? I don't know if they called you Mikey or not, and kind of your journey into where you're at. I know it's a big snapshot and a big resume, but go ahead and do that.
Oh wow, that's a big void to fill. Are you talking about kind of my entry into sports, or just me growing up?
Let's just begin, and maybe, as an ex-NFL player, right, retired player,
Yeah.
I think it's important we go there. We're in the recreational space and the park space, but let's just talk about your childhood. Let's start as a kid, right? You got to play in the big show. You got to play in NFL football, which is, if you're a youth football kid, you want to be that kid. I wanted to be Joe Montana and the guys. That's what we want to be, right? So
Yeah, exactly.
Where did it all start?
It started as I was just a highly energetic kid. Growing up, I was an energetic kid. I was smart. I really wasn't into sports early on until about 12 or 13 years old. I was just more about just having fun, figuring stuff out, and just playing, you know.
So you weren't a sports kid. Like I hear someone say, "Oh, my kid's not a sports kid," and I get that. But the reality is, you weren't a sports kid till when did you really start playing sports?
I'll be honest, I don't remember it being many sports kids back in the day. I mean, I didn't play sports to 12, and I don't remember many of my friends playing until we were in our early teens, preteens.
What planet did you grow up? Okay. Did you play with your friends down the street?
Oh, we played a lot of that. We threw the football around, played one-on-one basketball, 21. I mean, we figured out how to play just about every sport by just playing it. So it was nothing organized. I'll say that.
Right.
Nothing organized.
Yeah. And that's kind of where I think the Parks and Rec comes in, because when we were kids, we would just play with our friends down the street. And then if there's a Parks and Rec program, we could get involved. For you, it kind of took until you're 12 years old. I think I played Little League when I was 7. You know, so it sort of started, and then basketball at 9, and you just kind of follow what's going on. So I guess it depends on where you're at. But right now, with youth sports being in such a challenging space because of elite club and travel, and we're going to talk about that today, I feel like, so if you started at age 12 or 13 playing football and you made it to the NFL, then that means that all these people that tell these kids that are 6 that they need to sign up for specialization club and travel, what's the deal, man?
I don't know. I know there's a lot of good sales pitches going on about that sort of stuff, but no, I don't think that's a need. I think that a healthy, active lifestyle. I think that, you know, playing with my friends, I built my athleticism. I didn't need to be in organized sports, but I think that, I mean, as I watch my kids now, it's everything. They're starting at 4, 5, 6, and it's almost a pressure to get involved because if not, you're behind. So it's strange.
So when you say that, and let's forget about us old guys, you know,
Okay.
right? Let's go to the kids, right? So the pressure started with my kids real young. It's like, well, he's got to play year round. He's got to do this. He's got to do that, because if not, then they're going to miss out, right? And your kids have heard that. Do me a favor, just so the audience understands. You have tell who your kids are a little bit and what's going on. They kind of get the rest of the story.
I have 4 boys. Ages range from 22 to 12. My 22-year-old is in the senior year at UConn. He ran track. He runs the 400. My 19-year-old is a sophomore at LSU. And actually, he just transferred from LSU in the portal to Georgia State. So we're excited about him coming back home.
Bring him home.
Exactly. And he played football, of course. And I have a 10th grader who is soccer and a basketball player. And I have a 13-year-old who is avid football player. But all my kids are all across the range. They're smart kids. They all, my LSU child got an academic scholarship. But they're smart, diverse kids.
Wow. Love that. So what you've done it, but you didn't say at age 5, all right, you got to get up and start playing and start working at this, right?
With my oldest, we had little experience with that. His friends, Georgia is all baseball. So in Georgia, they start baseball at 4 and 5 years old. So he's playing T-ball from 5 and was on travel baseball teams. And I'll be honest, he burned out. By the time he was in probably about that age, 13, 14, he was done with baseball. So with my others, they started kind of late, and they just played the sports they like to play, you know, kind of more for fun.
So yeah, I mean, we're seeing all over the nation, obviously, with the decline. It's because they do get burned out, and you've said it firsthand. And then he said, okay, I'm done with that, but I still like to run, so I'll run track. And hey, he's a college athlete, so he's doing something right?
Yeah, and he didn't even, to be honest, he didn't run track until his junior year. So he was just having fun playing with his friends, and it worked out for him.
Thank God for his mom's athleticism. Right?
Exactly, not mine at all. Give her all the credit.
There you go. All the credit. Wait, why not? Right, there you go. All right. So, wow, man. So then let's go back to you. What inspired? Like, what made you get in? If you were like Legos and books and smart, and then they said, "Hey, let's go bang bodies around a football field," you were like, "What? Like, how did you get involved?"
I think it was a few of my friends that decided to play on the local football team. They talked me into it. my first year or two, I don't think I touched the field. It was bad. It was bad. After a couple of years, I got the hang of it and picked up on it. But I think it was just friends finding out about the local league and us giving it a shot.
Give it a shot and get it. So again, age 13 until college, right? So you're talking 5 years of your life. When did you kind of realize, hey, I'm pretty good at this? More importantly, maybe I really like this. And when did that happen?
I tell you what, when I realized I wasn't really bad at that, I realized when I wasn't really bad at football. Actually, a day in practice, I was just getting like mauled by all the kids. The coach kept putting me back in a position to keep taking more assault from all the kids. And I was crying. I mean, I remember this like it was yesterday, crying. Wow. It was raining and I was just so mad. And the coach sent one kid at me. He knocked me down. He sent him again. And I just mustered up all the courage I had and hit him. And he fell to the ground, lost his wind. And that's when I realized that I can actually play if I actually try to have believed in myself. Like I remember the day to the T. And
like I got that same vibe. I remember, and I was a basketball kid, but I did play other sports. But I do remember, especially in football, the first time you take that hit, but the first time that you actually realize it, if I assert myself, right? Yeah. But okay, let's get way out of the kids for a second. How do you think that young Michael that took those hits, that stuck with it, and then hit that kid and went, wait a second, I can do this? How is that serving you now?
I think it's about self-confidence. I think the biggest thing that kids or I picked up through sports was self-confidence, understanding that if I want to get something accomplished, I can just work hard and actually improve. And I think sports gives you a compact enough environment to where you can work hard and see the improvement in real time. And I think seeing and understanding that, I use that in everything I do. If it's hard, I can find a way to work through it,
Right. And it's amazing that how I tell everybody those life lessons we learn in sport, good, bad, or indifferent, empathy, teamwork, leadership, failure, all those things, they serve us really well as adults, don't they?
Big time, big time. I mean, you can see it big time.
And if we get kids that are out there that aren't getting those experiences, in my opinion, I feel like they're missing out significantly, right? Because where else could you get, where else could you get the lesson that you got from getting knocked down to get back up? I don't know where you could get that.
Yeah, it's hard to match it. It's hard to match the pressure from peers. It's hard to match the, having to go home, being able to practice at home and get it improved and come back and see the improvement. It's hard to match all the environment that sports creates in the young kid's mind. It's hard to, recreate that. And it's if you do it, kids who have been through it, you can tell by just interacting and adults.
Yeah. So when you're going through that, was it your parents? Was there a coach? Who was the mentor? I love the fact you mentioned this, and it was true for me. In fact, we just lost one of our kids we went to school with. 61 passed away, unfortunately. He was a scout for the Oakland A's, and he was a baseball kid. Came through it. But the peers, like him striking me out and trying to make me a better player. You know what I mean, right? And doing that. But there was some adults. For me, it was Coach Mack, Coach Racines, Coach Krasinski, Coach Chavez, and I could list a lot of them. But there's one that stuck with you. Was it in the family or was it coaches?
I'll say this: my dad never. He always supported me, but I never remember him putting pressure on me. I don't remember one instance where my dad argued with me after a game or came down on me for not working hard. I think that he always found a way to support me without the pressure. So I think that created a good environment for me at home. There's plenty of coaches stayed on me long enough for me to figure out that I can pick up the pace a little bit and figure it out. So countless. I got a lot of coaches. I remember their names.
So I want to walk through the journey just because I know your journey, but they may not. So you play high school ball, and you didn't go to 5 different high schools and play and get no, that's not how it works.
No NIL deal in high school, none of that stuff.
So tell us about your high school journey. How'd that go?
I think high school I started to realize that I can compete. So I didn't go to the best high school. Not many people from our high school went on to college to play sports, but we had a tight knit group. A lot of kids we played with for a long time, and I think I really found a good environment to excel in high school. I was small. I was super small. I was probably about 140 some pounds in high school. 100. I think I wrestled in a 150 some class as a senior. So I was small, short kid, but I could play football. So that did hurt me trying to go into college. I wasn't recruited high, and that was a letdown. But I had a lot of fun in high school. And again, there wasn't the opportunity to jump from school to school. There wasn't.
Right.
I didn't know many kids that were doing that at that point.
But again, now that was Michigan. Is that where high school was?
I grew up in Michigan. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you did football, track, wrestling?
Yep. I did wrestling because my football coach made me do it.
Yeah,
that project only lasted one semester.
Can I just say, I would have hated you in high school because the coach would have sent you guys out to come play basketball with us, and you've been the guy that just mauled me and mugged me as I tried to just get off me. You would have been that guy. I can already tell.
I wouldn't have scored a point, though. I wouldn't have scored a point. I would have played great defense, but I wouldn't have scored a point on you.
And hey, you know your limitations. I get that. I totally get that. Okay, so now the day comes in that you're like, okay, well, I'm going to go to college, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what happens? You don't have tons of video that everybody's, all the whole world's looking at you, come watch your games. You didn't go, like, how does that work?
I don't know if I ever saw a scout in the stands at a game, but I did. I would say this. I was the top receiver in the state, had a lot of yards, but I was just a small guy. And it wasn't really to my senior year that I really matured and had a great season. So there weren't any scouts that saw me my freshman, sophomore, junior years. In my senior year, I developed. So that left me with no scholarship, really no scholarship offers out there. So I ended up walking on to a school called Central State in Ohio, small school, NAIA division school. Played there for a year, and they ended up canceling the team, the football team. So had to find somewhere to transfer to. Had a friend at University of Memphis that was playing football. So I just showed up on campus, no talking to the coaches, showed up and asked the coach how was the process for walking on.
Mm-hmm. Man, that's pretty gutsy at 19, 20 years old?
Exactly. I just wanted to play somewhere,
But you had your education mindset, which you're getting a degree.
Oh, yeah.
Mindset where I'm taking care of my grades.
Oh, yeah.
But you had a passion for football.
Exactly. I just wanted to find a place where I can keep playing.
There you go. And so you go out there, you play, and then what happens? So did you play 3 years there, or what'd you do?
It wasn't smooth. I walked on. I got to the school, found out that the school I transferred from, with it being an upward transfer, because at this point you can transfer up a division without sitting out a year. So I found out when I showed up on campus that spring, looking at playing spring ball, I found out I had to sit out for a whole year. During that year, I just worked out on my own. I found anybody I could to work out with. I was in the gym twice a day, on the field. I begged, borrowed, and stole to find people to work out with. Sometimes I would work out with one friend in the morning, another friend at night, and just watch the games. And the biggest thing for me was just staying motivated. Then that following spring, I came out. I actually could walk on at that point. I walked on and quickly realized I can play with, all the guys on the team. It wasn't anything, different in high school for me. And a lot of these guys I was playing with were going to NFL, the guys I came and fit in with. So I started to really realize that, hey, this may be a thing. I could potentially, go on beyond college if I played well.
Wow. So you played there, you got a career, and then was it your junior year or senior? How long did you stay there?
I actually had I stayed there I was there for 3 years. I played 2. Okay. So my first year I had a pretty good season and got a little bit of attention, got a starting spot. And then between my junior and senior year, that's when we ran 40s, and that's when the scouts started to recognize me. And my senior year, I think the first time I realized it, my coach put me into the locker room and said, "Hey, Mike, you have a lot of scouts asking about you. So, why don't you put your best foot forward this year?" And that was for me, that was my first time even fathoming the fact that I had that much of an opportunity.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. Okay. And then my guess is college is done, and now what?
So my senior year, we had a great. I mean, we had a great season. I think it was the right place, right time. Our defense was number 2 in the nation behind Miami. We allowed 1 passing touchdown that Peyton Manning threw when we played Tennessee. We
Dang it, mate, Peyton. Right, yeah.
number 1 rush defense in the country, and I looked up and I was ranked 5th best cornerback in the country.
Wow.
And I mean, this is after a year of playing a little bit, starting a little bit, and 1 full year of starting. So, after I found it out, I found an agent, started preparing for the draft, and got into the Senior Bowl late. I think the day before the Senior Bowl, I got invited. To the combine late, and nobody knew who I was. But I did good in the combine and Senior Bowl, and I ended up getting drafted 2nd round to Arizona Cardinals.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's the thing, right? To get there, right? And what a journey, because your journey is not like everybody right now, which when we get a chance, we're going to talk a little bit more about the kids' journey, because your kids' journey is way different than your journey. Right?
Exactly.
But let's just stay in the lane for a second. Okay, so you go to play. You played, just so they get the resume. Tell me about the teams you played for, your coaches, just a little bit, so people get the rest of the story.
Okay, my first 4 years I played with the Arizona Cardinals. Willie McGinnis was the head coach. Those 4 years, I played my first 2 years as a cornerback and switched over to strong safety when Pat Tillman went to the Marines. It was kind of a shock, so we had to move people around. So that was a good opportunity for me. I think I played much better at the safety position, but in between playing corner and safety, I had to find a fit on the team, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So special teams became my identity. I worked super hard on special teams. I use all the work ethic that I grew during college to really find my mark on special teams.
Yeah.
And at one point I think my 4th year, I was a Pro Bowl. I was on a Pro Bowl ballot for special teams.
Very cool.
Yeah. So, and that doesn't happen often. So anyway, so after my 4 years with the Cardinals, I moved on. Moved on to play with the Texans, the Giants, and Patriots. My final year with the Giants.
Wow. So that sounds like a heck of a run, man. I mean, we got to do that. And it's interesting because most of what you've said to me goes back to 13-year-old Michael, when you got knocked down and back up, and you said, I'm not doing this anymore. And then you developed the determination, because it didn't start when you were 6 because someone said, get up and do this, Mike. It was your journey and you wanted to do it, right?
Yeah, I think it's important. I think the journey has to start in the kids' mind. The passion has to come from within. You as a parent can help shape it, but the passion has to come within. Your child has to want to play this sport and be successful at it.
Yeah. Wow. And did you play like as you're going through, let's go back to the youth. So when you're playing youth and you played with your buddies, was there organized sports that you played other than football? Or was kind of football the only organized sport you played as you were coming up?
I mean, other than that, I ran track and played football. That was the 2 sports that fit my skill set. I tried to play basketball.
10 years old. No, okay.
I wasn't a basketball guy.
And the group that you grew up with, you said, which is interesting, did any of the other athletes and kids that you grew up with, did they excel in different places as well, or were you the one that kind of came out of the group?
I'll be honest, I think I'm the only one in our group that played professionally. A few of them played for college, different colleges, but I would say I'm the only one who played professionally. And I would say, if you were to see us as a group back then, you wouldn't have guessed that I would have been the one to play professionally. when you go back to 10 years old.
Yeah, but you go back to that's funny. So you have four boys. Mm-hmm. And I know we got to take a break in a minute, so I don't want to dive until we get back on the other side. But when you look at that journey, I really want, for you that are watching out there from Parks and Rec and the coaches, but especially the parents, to kind of see what we're talking about here. Because what always amazes me, and one of the reasons why we're such good friends and business partners and everything we do together, is because we got that mindset that it is going to take the work, right? But it's not about us forcing people to do something, right? It's the leadership that is more about developing a passion within and inspiring them. Can you just give me real quick, what coach gave you the most inspiration? That, because it sounded like you had a lot of it internal. I get that, and you still know that today. But was there one coach that you could say that inspired you most, that maybe helped, whether it's from cultural or internal or anything like that?
I would say Coach Grimmett. He was my defensive coach in Little League. I feel like that he was the first coach that actually invested and believed in me, more than I believed in myself. So I think that, feeling the fact that he believed in me so much, I think they built confidence in me. Without Coach Grimmett, I don't know if I've been playing football going forward.
So again, isn't that nuts? That's the importance, again, for me, of Parks and Recreation and recreational sports and our camps at the National Camp Athletics, kids getting involved, is to get that opportunity, to get that experience. Because if their parents aren't the ones that are going to introduce or bring them in, here's an opportunity to kind of open those doors, but also to inspire them. And that's why thank you for those youth coaches, those people out there that are volunteering or giving their time to do that. So, Hey, we're running up against it. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come out the other side. I want to talk a little bit more about, as a parent and as a youth coach, because you coach as well. When we come back, we'll talk about parenting, talk about coaching. We'll see you guys in a minute. Thanks, Joey. And hit it.
Before the game, before the lights, before the pressure, there's a moment most people never see. Welcome to The Athlete's Commute, a podcast distributed by DPRS Media Network, co-produced by Her Sports, and hosted by Jordan Ziff. Each episode, Jordan gets behind the wheel, driving athletes to practice, to training, to game day, while getting to know who they really are beyond the jersey. The mindset, the grind, the sacrifices, the moments no one talks about. No scripts, no filters, just real conversations in real motion. Because every athlete has a journey, and every journey deserves to be heard. This is The Athlete's Commute. Buckle up.
On the Daily Parks and Rec Show, we bring you the real stories of tomorrow's professionals, people shaping the future, one idea at a time. Meet the very first DPRS interns to officially host their own segment, Aidan Tierney and Michael Morrow. With curiosity, passion, and a fresh perspective, they're stepping into the spotlight to lead meaningful conversations with today's rising leaders. The Young Professionals Network takes you inside the journeys, challenges, and major wins of young individuals making their mark across industries. From first jobs to bold ventures, every story fuels growth, ambition, and innovation. Each episode brings real conversations, fresh perspectives, and impactful insights created to motivate the next generation of professionals. Whether you're just starting out, exploring new paths, or figuring out your next move. Tune in to the Young Professionals Network every Thursday at 5 p.m. only on the Daily Parks and Rec Show. Don't miss it, because your next big idea might be one story away.
All right, welcome back. Every time I see these spots, Mike, I don't know, man, because being this adventure with Daily Parks and Rec Show from the beginning, it's just really cool seeing how much energy you're putting in and impact you're having on the community. So it's just a huge vibe about this. It's pretty cool. So
Definitely.
All right, as promised, we're here with Michael Stone. We're talking about youth sports, as we always do, talking about how to help kids talk, teach, and play. Today, let's dive in a little more, Mike. So I think it's more important. You've talked about you got 4 boys. Let's talk about it from the parent standpoint. So you got 4 boys, and you're a retired pro athlete, and you look at the kids going, now what? Did you immediately, they were born, and you raise them up and go, it's the next, No, I didn't have anything. So
no, not at all.
So tell me a little bit. Was your journey specifically different with each child?
Yeah, I think all my children are different. Some my youngest is hyper competitive. My oldest 2, not as much.
Okay.
My middle one is just super mellow. but they all have different personalities. They take different approaches to life, it seems like.
There you go. Yeah. So I'm big on trying to get kids involved in playing youth sports. As a parent, the biggest thing I found is, how do you start? Right?
Yeah.
Where do you start? So for you, let's start with your oldest. So your oldest, what age did you say your oldest? Hey, let's try baseball or basketball, or football, whatever. What age?
Man. I mean, it was young. He started young. He started maybe 5 or something playing t-ball. It's really a friend group. It's really his friend group was all playing. So he played with them, and he went all the way up to maybe 10 or 11. Travel baseball, they're playing 80 games. It was just a lot. It was a lot. And they had rules on how many games you can pitch. But he's always the one that was just doing it for fun, just doing it for socialization. He wasn't the most competitive, the best kid out there. He was just having fun with his friends. So we encouraged it.
I was giving a talk in San Antonio, Texas, and a guy came up and he was telling me about how he's got a basketball group with these kids. He's actually promised the parents that their kids would get into a college with a scholarship.
What kind of promise is that? Wow, that's a big promise to make.
Promise, yeah, right. So these 12 boys are going to play 60 basketball games during the summer in 5 states and all these tournaments. And
yeah,
you hear all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
I asked him, I said, man, where are these kids? Like are they 6, 7? Like, what do you got? And he goes, oh no, they're 5th graders.
That's a huge promise in 5th grade. You don't know which way you're going to grow. You don't know anything. So
yeah. So as a parent out there, I know it's crazy. I know people say this stuff, but just slow your roll a little bit. So so you bite the bullet. Your baseball is baseball. Your son goes out there, play, liked it, kind of had a good journey, athletic, and goes forward from there. And then he said, I'm done. Okay. So what's the cautionary tale we can learn from him?
We spent a lot of money on baseball. That's one. We spent a lot of money on baseball, and it's expensive. And but I think the thing that he learned in the process is that he didn't like baseball. It was a big lesson in I don't like baseball.
Okay.
When he was done playing baseball, he was done with it. And even though we invested all the money in that and got caught up in the hype with all of his friends,
right.
He settled into just having fun being a kid. And I think he played lacrosse for a year, ran track. Just he realized it wasn't for him.
So with your second child, you learned a couple lessons?
Oh yeah, my second child. He played a little bit of baseball. He didn't start till later. He had a different friend group. He didn't start till later in baseball. He was a basketball player. Moved on to basketball and football. Played a little bit of AAU basketball. Was always a small kid. I did watch him. He went from being the worst player on the basketball team to a very good high school basketball player.
Nice.
And it wasn't, and I think the thing with him, we saw him grow a love for basketball probably sophomore year in high school. Before he wouldn't practice on his own. He wouldn't take any personal initiative, and we didn't put pressure on him. And I think it probably sophomore year, he realized he can play. Started putting in work on his own, and started really focusing, getting better.
Making a run. Yeah, I kind of remember that, hearing about that.
Mm-hmm. He didn't play. I'll say this: he played football. He didn't play high school. He played his first year of high school football and stopped playing. And to not have played any high school football, he walked on the LSU team. Just walked off the campus onto the team and made the LSU football team as a wide receiver when they have probably the top wide receivers in the country.
You got to slow down for a second. So you got a kid that played basketball and played different things than that. Played 1 year of high school football.
1 year of high school football.
And then said, you know what, Dad, I want to go play football.
Exactly.
Where what school? It wasn't some school for the blind or something. This was a school, right?
Exactly. He was just in school. He got an academic scholarship to LSU. That's why we went. And we went to a couple games, and he just said, you know what, I'm going to try out. Yeah.
How proud were you of that?
I was real proud. I was more proud to see that he took the initiative. He did it on his own. And even though I tried to go bribe the coaches and talk to the coaches and introduce myself, they just shoved me away, and he literally made the team on his own accord. So I was proud of that. Yeah,
that's a big shout out to do that. I bet that don't happen that much. You know what I mean?
No.
Not just the fact of only playing one season, but just understanding and having that like we talked about earlier, somewhere from your family, somewhere from playing with the kids or whatever, he got that internal motivation and said, I want to do this.
Yeah, exactly. And believe in himself. So I was proud of him.
You know, I look at my son Mason, and he's managing for Costco and working, and sometimes I look at him and go, dude, you're 24 years old and you're doing that. Like, what, how? And it's because internal motivation that they learn from parents and coaches and the environment to be able to, proud dad moment, but to be able to lift themselves up and do it. And that's what we want, right? Isn't that what we want? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So is there a tale or a lesson that we could tell any of these parents before we jump on to go to the next about sports? And again, everybody's journey is different. You've talked about, right? One kid started playing at 5 years old, and you guys were out there with the lawn chairs, and you paid the money. You probably had a bell cap on and support Go Team, Fight Team, the whole deal. And yet he was done before he really got even to when baseball gets fun, when you're about 13 or 14, when you can actually hit and bunt and run and build the game. And he was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm burnt out, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I would say the cautionary tale is follow your kids' passion. Identify what your kids like to do, give them exposure to all the different sports, and allow them to build a passion for the sport, not you. It's hard when you're forcing the kid into a direction.
Yeah. You know, at the National Academy of Athletics, when I do the coaches trainings and orientations we do here, we have a parent orientation sheet that's a scan that they can do, and it's a little quiz. And it's like, as a parent, I can look at this and go, what position my child plays, how important is it? 1 to 5. If they're a starter, 1 to 5, all these different factors. And I tell the parents, take that quiz and then take the other side. Don't show your kid and have them take the same quiz.
Exactly.
The sport
lie.
Right. Yeah. Because sometimes it's like, man, I want my kid to be a shortstop. And the kid's like, no, I'll play right field and pick grass.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's got to be about their journey. What difference as a parent did you see between your parenting from your oldest, let's say, down to your younger two, but especially your youngest?
I would say with my oldest, we drove a lot of his participation. With my youngest, he drives us. Like, my youngest wakes me up, let's go to the field. He signs himself up for different leagues and all-star games. And I mean, he literally wants to do it, and we're just following his passion as opposed to trying to lead the way. So we didn't have to figure out anything as far as what he wanted to do. And he's smiling every time he's practicing. It's not about, he's not being forced to do anything. We followed his lead on it.
You know, we got in one of the handbooks we talk about the red light, yellow light, green light. And this is a perfect example for people to know if your kids are out there and if they want to get you, hey, Dad, let's go practice. Let's go to the games. That's a green light. Right? They love it. The yellow light is, I don't really like him practicing, but I'll play in the games. Yellow light. Red light is they don't want to play in the games.
Yeah.
But we got to pay attention to that. And I love the fact, I know when I did the work with the San Francisco Giants, and Buster Posey said the number one thing is it's the kid's passion. If you inspire and find out what their passion is and grow that up, whatever that is, right?
Exactly, whatever it is.
Football, Legos, whatever it is, man, lean into that, right? Because that's the healthy side. For me, I just think it's so important that because we've missed out on in a lot of parts of the country that the kids get to play down the street with their friends. I mean, you wouldn't be the athlete you are today or as you played if you didn't play with your buddies down the street.
Exactly. 100%.
100%. So how do we bring that back? And that to me is where that Parks and Rec, you guys got a job to do out there, man. You gotta get more kids playing sports again. And to do that, I think they got to take the fields back instead of sending off to the elite and club and travel. Let's get the rec kids out there. And that way, a kid that doesn't know if they want to play or not, they're not quite sure, they have a safe environment to go play, right?
Exactly. They can figure it out.
So you've progressed, and then one day they said, hey, Mike, Did they say, we got nobody to coach the team, we need you to do it? Or did you say, I want to coach the team? What was it?
I think it was they had nobody to coach the team.
What was it? Was it underwater basketball?
I think they heard I played football too, and they're like, "Hey, all right, so we have one of the coaches."
So when did that start? Tell me about that. When did you start coaching football?
I coached. I think I coached all my kids at some level of football. Even my oldest played a couple of years of football when he was kind of in the middle of things, even though he didn't. It didn't last long, but I think I coached all of them, and some of the reason why I coached is I saw some of the other coaches coaching the kids, and I saw improper hitting technique, teaching bad techniques, just things that I saw that I knew weren't correct. So I said, you know what, maybe we should step in and help out.
Well, and I think a lot of us. I mean, obviously I've coached, and people do want to coach, and I think there's that balance. But when you told your son or sons, "Hey, I'm going to coach you," did you say, "Hey, would you like me to coach?" Or "I'm coaching, you want to play?" Or how did you go about that?
I think they all wanted me to coach.
Yeah.
They all said, "Hey, Dad, you're going to coach." So I think all of them, kind of encouraged me. Said, "Hey, my friend's dad is coaching. Are you going to coach too?"
Yeah, that's a good one. And by the way, especially for girls, mom. Get out there and coach, man. They need it.
Yeah.
George, who works for us, who's got a show and coaching her in those groups, man. Girls that are coached by moms, by women, man, they thrive and they stay with it. So I highly suggest get out there and do that.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So that's a biggie. Okay, so you're coaching your own kids now. You coach your own kids. All right. So how much was this? And how much was this? And how much was this?
Whenever I coach, I always tell another coach to yell at my child for me. So if because my son doesn't, none of my sons really took my coaching as well as he took other people's coaches. So we always make a pact. Whenever I'm coaching with other dads, we make a pact to address each other's kids, because I know that you naturally come down a little harder on your child. Yeah. I'm definitely not a daddy ball coach.
Right.
If anything, it's going to be much harder on my child than everybody else.
Right. Which, by the way, we got to be careful of, because you like to say we treat everybody the same, but that's your kid, for God's sake. So on the other hand, if you treat them too hard, they're going to want to get out, and it's going to ruin the parent-child relationship. If you treat them too easy, daddy ball, it's like, well, you get to play this, you get to this. That ain't going to work either, right?
Exactly.
That fine line, right?
It is a balance. And I see some coaches that don't understand that balance all the time, on both sides of it.
You know what they don't understand? If you, let's say baseball, if you put the pressure on your child to be the pitcher, to bat in cleanup or the first three, to always play short, so that pressure on them is so much, it's undue and it's unnecessary. And not only that, but you're opening up to amazing criticism by everybody when they don't have to be that way, right?
Exactly. Once you open up to criticism, the parents are upset, other kids are upset because their parents are upset. You create a whole vortex of pressure on that child.
I love that what you said earlier. I'm just kind of flashing back on that, because to protect your child-parent relationship, the whole concept of being able to make sure, commonsensical, but like you said, for us, I would do directions and corrections for your son, and you do direction and correction for my son. So we kept that balance, right? So we go forward from there.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's all right. So you're on the way to the game with your boys, and you're coaching them.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now you're coaching them in the car, but you're driving, they're sitting there, whatever it is, and you're going to the game. What's Coach Michael Stone got to say to him?
I think most of the time I talk about just mentality. Just go out there, play as hard as you can. Don't worry about it. Somebody scores on you, come back harder. It's more mentality than anything. You don't want them thinking in the game, focus on too much. It's just coming in with the right mentality.
I love that. Okay. Now, I'm kind of the same way. For me, I did all of my information the night before when we packed the uniform. We talked strategies or whatever they want to talk about. And then when it was game day, even if I was coaching, I just treated them like any other player. I personally, especially on the ride there, I didn't talk about nothing. I let them play music and just let it be. If they had questions, how about this? Yeah, but otherwise the same thing. It's just let's let it be, because if not, you're going to choke that experience from them, right? As they
Exactly.
go. Yeah,
exactly. And you're adding pressure that's not needed before the game.
Yeah. All right. So now they get the game. The game's going on, and I just gave a post which got a lot of good feedback on it, a lot of interesting feedback. you guys went out there and played, and your child you coached, but you did not play too good.
Okay.
So again, we got to be careful of daddy ball. Got to be careful of right judgment and all that. But now you're in the car. You're driving. Let's talk about the ride home. What's the ride home like with you?
I know. I mean, I know how it feels to not play good. I know how it felt, coming out of games, especially in the NFL, where it didn't feel good, where people were watching, people were mad at me. I made a bad play, so I try not to give any pressure. I try to just let it soak in, let him figure it out, and when he comes to me, answer any questions he has. But I don't. It's not. I'll be honest. Some of the parents don't like that, but these games aren't that important to me. It's how did you put the effort out there? If we lost, I'm not playing for the trophies like some coaches. So yeah.
No, those I think the ride home might be one of the most important times in youth sports journey. Practice important. I get it, playing all that, but that ride home after practice or game, because you can smother a child's love of the game in that 4 minutes, 15-minute ride home, right?
Yep.
Mike, how come you didn't do this? And we practiced, and you did this, and you didn't do that, and why didn't you do this? Or I see this too, which is don't do this. They start blaming the referees or blaming other players.
Or blaming talking about the other coaches and
they should have done this, or they weren't that, or another player. Well, you're better than they are. You should be playing that position instead of them. And there are you guys. When we do that, we undermine that. We're taking our kids who are supposed to understand, respect their coach, and when we speak bad about their coach in front of the kids, it makes them less likely to respect him, right?
Yep, exactly, 100%.
Man, so all right, you've coached it. You played it, right? High level. You're a parent. So I want to kind of go back and think about this, because the game of football is an interesting one to me, because I think it is probably one of the ultimate team sports, right? Because, I mean, even the fact you all got to, like you guys are dancers. If one of you move when you're not supposed to, it costs your team yards.
Exactly.
And you got 350-pound men out there that can run a 4.40, right? Trying to knock your head off, right? Or whatever. You're like, okay, here we go. So let's talk a little bit more about specifics. Give me a life lesson, because I want to drag this all the way down to littles that you learned in professional football that we think we can go all the way down, that we can brag. So if I'm a youth sports coach, what's something that you learned or was reinforced, maybe from Belichick or anybody that gave you some life lesson, some coaching thing that we can bring all the way down to the Pee Wee coaches?
Got you. I will say I learned this from Belichick. It's the mentality. It's how do you, I think most of this game is about how do you react when things didn't go right? How do you react when it's a turnover on downs and the offense is coming off the field and they just turn the ball over and you're on defense? What is your mentality? One thing that we did in practice is whenever we created those type of situations, the defense had to run out full speed and excited. It's like you had to almost fake excitement when bad things happen just to get your mentality right. You're happy that you have a chance to hit the field on defense again. You're happy you have an opportunity to come back out there. Somebody scores a touchdown on you, you're happy to get back out there and play defense on him again. So I think learning how to bounce back and having a culture around bouncing back, a culture that people aren't yelling at each other when things go bad. People are figuring out how they're going to come back and finding excitement in the opportunity to come back.
I love that. So the resilience that we can teach kids, because let's be honest, in basketball, the best in the world, let's say Steph Curry, he's going to miss 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10 shots.
Exactly.
That means he fails 6 out of 10 times, right?
Exactly.
In baseball, you're going to get out 7 out of 10 times. Right? I mean, in football, you're not going to get every cover, right? And complete every pass. So it is about failure, right? And I think that's what you're saying, which I think is important that the parents need to hear. In your living room, when you pitch the Nerf ball to your kid in the quiet, easy environment, of course they can hit the ball all over the place,
Exactly.
But that changes when the kid's trying to strike your kid out. There's an umpire there that's got a strike zone that's 5 feet wide because no one can throw the ball anywhere near the plate. So if it's close, swing at it because that kind of thing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So one thing you've talked about to me before, which I think is really an interesting one I want to touch on, and this is kind of a surprise maybe, but that life's not fair and you have to create your own breaks. And I think that's something I learned really young. My mom was there was never judgment, right? There's freedom to fail. It's your journey. Figure it out. And she'd always say, "What's the lesson?" Right?
Yeah.
No matter if I got a B on a paper, a C or F, what's the lesson, right? But you got to do it again. All right, well, go do it. You know what I mean? That was what it was. But let's talk about that a little bit. Where are you at on that mindset? Because I think that's an important lesson for kids to learn from that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best learning you have when you fail. I think that I encourage my kids to try as much as they can. Try things you don't think you can do, because that failure is going to get you closer to the next time. So I encourage that in life, in business, and everything you do. Make the effort, try, and then from the learnings, you're more prepared to try the next time.
Yeah.
And incrementally, you finally get to where you can actually conquer it.
Yeah, I love that. We when I do the clinics again, we're trained out there. A lot of times, like I'll ask the parents, how many of you are excited for your kid to fail this season? And you know what's funny to me? They don't get it. And I said, embrace the suck.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the deal, right? Embrace the suck. I think it's such an important piece that they don't get for some reason,
Yeah, I agree.
And if we can embrace the suck without the judgment and the other factors with that, I feel like that's a really good way to go about it, right?
Oh, definitely. I think when you understand, when you play sports enough, you understand that embracing that is where it's at, because you're going to mess up, you're going to make mistakes, you're going to lose games. How are you developing from it? Exactly.
So at the National Cap Athletics, we've developed, when I say we, I mean you. So right, yeah, you developed the high five program, right? We talked a little bit about those components, about these pieces, and I just want to touch these because we got a couple extra minutes. So me, I'm gonna take what I can. So the way the high five program has been developed is that not just teaching sports skills, right? In our enrichment and our camps and clinics and leagues and programs, we also really lean in, and I think that's what we've been talking about this whole thing, which is we have 5 elements that we'll talk about. And we reinforce those to the point where when a kid does something at the program, they're going to get a wristband, which is a celebration of their effort, right? So let's talk about attitude. We're going to go through, and we only got a few minutes, Mike. Talk about attitude, Mike. Give me a little hit on attitude that you want from your athletes as a parent, coach, and all that.
I mean, your attitude is going to point your direction. If you have a bad attitude, you're going to go down. Things go wrong, you're looking downward. You're looking for opportunities to exit or to blame. So having a good attitude keeps you aligned, gives you proper perspective.
Love it. All right. Love it. Yeah. Okay. Teamwork's the next one. One of the things we look for is, are you a good teammate? Are you looking for teamwork? So talk a little bit about that. I mean, it's self-explanatory in the word, but
I mean, as an adult, everything you're gonna do is you're gonna be with a team with somebody. So I think it's important for kids to learn that early, and there's nothing like sports to teach it if you understand it.
Yeah. Collaborative. It's so funny, right? I see in all these business trainings and CEO, this and that, we're going to teach collaboration. It's like, no, it's whatever fancy word you want. Are you a good teamwork? Are you a good teammate? If your teammate falls down, do you help pick them up, or do you step on them when they're down? Right. Okay.
Exactly.
Sportsmanship, empathy.
I mean, that's important. I think that you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. I think it is how you engage people that makes you successful or not successful in the day. We live with people in this world that you have to be considerate of, whether you're on top or on the bottom. So I think that is what we need right now in a society.
Yeah. Come together. Yeah. I think there's a song, Come Together. I like it. All right. Effort, which is, that's a big one on my books. Effort.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're not, everything is effort. It's all, how much are you putting out there? How much risk are you putting out there? How much do you believe in yourself? Your effort is going to be is your main product.
It's funny too, because at the camps, and I learned from John Wooden and the guys way back in the day going through the process, is if you focus more on that effort rather than just the result, right? Don't worry about the win and loss, so to speak, but did we do the right stuff the right way at the right time? because that's what's repeatable, right? Because we learn that going forward. And when you stick in that lane, focus on, because then that's how the desired effort becomes a habit, and that's become then you win, right?
Yep.
Then you win.
I agree.
One of the things we really focus on the effort, and then the last one, which is focus. Talk about that.
I think that the really successful people have this uncanny ability to focus. The people I've been around that have been really successful can really hone all the way in, listen to what's being taught, apply it, and advance, get better at it. So I think that teaching kids to focus, and sports does teach you how to focus too, but teaching kids to focus early is important. Got
it. All right. So attitude, teamwork, sportsmanship, effort, focus. National Cav Athletics, high five. That's what we're doing. I love it. All right, we're wrapping up. If someone wants to get a little bit more connected with you, I'm assuming LinkedIn is probably a good spot. But is there anything you want to kind of give it from there? Or if they're interested in build a bunch of Legos, because down in Georgia, what do you got?
Yeah, LinkedIn is a good place to find me. You can find me there. I also, like Aaron said, I also have a Lego organization. We do Lego programs for kids. It's all about STEM and SEL for that program. But Builder Bunch, thebuilderbunch.com is the website for that. But definitely, I'm easy to find and always look to build network in.
Good stuff. And of course, you can find them at the nationalacademyathletics.com. We're excited as we're growing. And we just awarded another franchise. So things are great. We're opening up in South Carolina real soon, and things are coming. We'll be coming to a neighborhood near you. I might appreciate the time. I know it's tough to give up an hour, but I appreciate everybody. Thank you. Thank you, DPRS. Have an amazing day. And remember, when you go out there, remind your kids to play hard and have fun. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.
Thanks, Aaron. Enjoy it.
Next time.
They say it's Just Rec. Just Rec, where kids learn to try again. Just Rec, where confidence begins. Where teamwork, effort, and fun matter more than trophies. It's not about perfection. It's about participation. It's not Just Rec. It's where kids learn to love the game and themselves. It's Just Rec until they learn teamwork for life. It's Just Rec, but it's everything to them. It's more than rec. It's a movement. It's Just Rec until you realize it's shaping the next generation. Together, we're not just running programs, we're building a culture of confidence, connection, and community. Join us.
JDP Services Management Consulting, supporting parks and recreation and the essential service they provide. Communities benefit greatly from having dedicated advocates who champion the value of play in open spaces. Such advocacy ensures that recreational areas are prioritized and managed in ways that enhance the overall quality of life for everyone. We are dedicated to fortifying public park and recreation agencies and other related organizations by taking a practical, engaged approach to consulting and training, addressing immediate needs while equipping clients with lasting insight and tools to strengthen their organizations for long-term success. JDP Services, Management Consulting, meeting needs and exceeding expectations.
Welcome to DPRS Media Co., the first media company built for the people behind the Parks and Rec community. We don't just cover on Parks and Rec, we elevate it. We amplify it, we honor it. At the heart of everything we do is one mission: to serve the public servants, the professionals who design, maintain, and lead the parks that shape our communities. Under the daily Parks and Rec show, we produce 6 powerful platforms. Leadership in Parks and Rec, a spotlight on directors, superintendents, and visionaries shaping the future of public spaces. Facility maintenance, where the boots hit the ground, a deep dive into the systems, crews, and craftsmanship that keep our parks clean, safe, and beautiful. Young Professionals Network, shining a light on the next generation of Parks and Rec. Students, interns, and mentors sharing how we build a legacy together. Youth Sports Mastery, sponsored by National Academy of Athletics. This series is for coaches, parents, and rec leaders working to make youth sports fun, fair, and meaningful again. The Rec Room, hosted by the passionate leaders of Henry County Parks and Rec. This show brings frontline energy and real-life stories from the field. And the weekly Parks and Rec Post, our official newsletter delivering stories, insights, and community wins every week. We are DPRS Media Co. LLC, a media company with a mission to uplift the professionals who serve every community, every park, every day.